Now, when we talk about getting things done, it's helpful to figure out what done actually means.
Yeah.
Okay. And so this is something that is a nice little checklist that I use because there are really only 4 ways to, quote unquote, do something.
Okay.
Okay. And this is what I call the 4 methods of completion.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the first one is that you can actually do it. You can take an action, you can get the result, you can have it done. Okay. That's the working part.
Okay.
Okay. Pretty obvious, pretty basic.
Right.
The second is you can delete it. You can say, I'm not doing this right now. Cross it off your list. It is complete. You haven't done it.
Complete because it's not outstanding anymore.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay. It's not, this is not hanging over your head anymore.
Okay.
It's completed in the sense of you're not doing it.
Okay.
You delete it. Okay. And that's very helpful for things that are no longer important to you.
Right.
Okay. So let's say you have something on your to-do list that you've had for 3 years.
Right.
And that you kind of think you should want to do it, but you really don't, or you don't need to.
So the decision can be pretty freeing, I guess.
Yeah, you can just say, I'm not going to do it.
All right.
And, at that moment, it is complete. Crossed off your list.
Lovely.
Okay? Now, the next one is you can delegate. Okay? So you can say, I am going to give this to someone else to do for me. So if you have employees, you're probably quite used to delegating. If
Outsourcing.
Outsourcing or hiring a freelancer or a consultant or whatever is a way of delegating a particular task that you still want to do. It's still important, but there's somebody else that can do it at least, 80 to 90% as well as you can. Better to give it to somebody else, have them do it. And then you can focus the time on the things that only you can do.
Right.
Well, that's the delegation.
Okay.
And the last one is deferring. And deferring says, it's still important. I still want to do it. It's just not important for me to do right now. Okay, so you take that, you say, okay, I'm going to defer it in the sense that I'm not going to feel responsible for doing this now. But it's something I want to do in the future. And therefore, I am going to keep track of it as something I want to do later. Okay. Which is, David Allen's book, Getting Things Done, talks about each of these 4 things.
Right.
And, he calls his deferral list, he calls it a someday maybe list.
Right.
So someday maybe I would like to do this, someday maybe I would like to do that.
Right.
But I'm not going to do it right now. And when I have more time or more capacity or more energy, I'm going to look through this list and figure out, if any of these things I do want to do right now.
Yeah.
But it's an idea that I've had. I'm not committing to it. I'm just going to do it later.
I like it.
And there's really, a lot of people feel bad about doing that. There's nothing wrong with doing that.
Yeah.
So it's like, I would really like to do that someday.
Yeah.
But today is not that day. And so I'm not going to feel bad
Yeah.
about not doing it because it's not important enough.
That makes sense.
Okay, so that's the 4 methods of completion. Do, delete, delegate, and defer. And as you're going through your to-do list, apply that basic checklist, and you can actually move through your to-dos pretty quickly.
Cool.